Hi, my name is Michael Corrigan. I spent my CBSL experience at the William Booth Special Care Home. This care home provides multiple services such as long term care, respite care, convalescent care, and adult day support. I spent my time there as a recreation assistant with the adult day support program, and this meant that I was working with people who had just come to the care home for the day, not people who were living there. There was a large variance amongst the clients in the day program. Every client came to the care home under a unique set of circumstances. Some of the clients were in their 40s and some were all the way up to their 80s. Some were in wheelchairs or had to use walkers or canes to help walk. Some had very limited strength in certain parts of their bodies or limbs, and then some seemed to be in really good shape for their age. Some were married and lived with their partner, while others were widowed or lived on their own. This meant that everyone had their own specific needs and capabilities that affected their time at the care home. So to run you through my time there, I spent 8 2.5 hour days there, and each day ran through a similar trend of events. I spent the first roughly 30 minutes greeting clients as they got to the care home and helped them take off their jackets, clip on their name tags, and I would pour them some coffee, juice, or tea. And then for about the next hour-ish, I spent my time socializing with the clients over this coffee, tea, juice. And then the last hour of my morning was spent helping run a rec activity for the clients. Because lots of the clients had physical restrictions, one of the most important things for running this activity was making modifications so that everyone could participate and be included in the activity. As a phys ed major, this was definitely something that I took away from my time at the care home. Because there was a number of clients who were in a wheelchair, the rec activities always had everyone sitting in a chair, which eliminated the disability of being in a wheelchair and even the playing field for everyone during this activity. Because some of the clients were quite old and weak, we often used very light objects during games, and then some other modifications we made included making targets big and bright so that people with visual impairments could see them, and then changing the difficulty of the activity for each individual so that the activity was challenging but yet also fun for everyone. Another main takeaway I took from my time at the care home was the importance of socialization. I believe most of the clients were at the care home just so they weren't at home doing nothing all day, and I think this really relates back to Bronfenbrenner's ecological model. I say this because the socialization that the clients were immersed into at the care home was an example of how microsystems affect one's development. And even though these clients weren't children, the direct socialization and interaction with their peers, nurses, and volunteers like myself definitely had an effect on their being as a whole and as a person. Something that I found super interesting about the care home was that the environment was super inclusive. Because everyone had different capabilities, it was the norm to find ways to include everyone in activities no matter what their capabilities were. I found this so interesting because I don't think that we're really at that point in society, but since it's such a common practice at the care home, it was just such a norm and so common there. I think that for it to become a norm outside of the care home, we have to start implementing an inclusive environment with our children in classrooms to teach them how to be inclusive, but also to show the benefits for both sides, both parties. I think these ideas of modifications, Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems, and inclusion are important to relate to my development as a teacher. Learning how to modify activities so that everyone could participate, be challenged, and still have fun is something that I'll continue to use as I continue on my journey in becoming an educator and a physical educator. The next main takeaway that I took relates to Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems, and I was happy that I was able to relate this system to my time at the care home. So I think keeping this in my mind and about the school setting, along with other factors in a child's life and how those all come in to affect one's development in those microsystems, is really important for me when I'm teaching young people in the future. The last connection I made was to inclusion, and I firmly believe that if myself as an educator can view inclusion as a norm, just as they do at the care home, then I'll be able to implicate that in that inclusive environment in my classroom once I'm a teacher, And I think this will really help shape my students to be inclusive students as well, and help make an inclusive society. So thanks for listening. My name is Michael Corrigan, and I hope you enjoyed it.